we're going to look at the solutions for the Unit 2 test section by section. So the first section was finding slope on a graph. And the first question was assuming the rate of change is constant, the next point to the right on the graph is blank. And we're looking for an ordered pair here. And so you can see that we have a point here, here, and here, and we want to know what is going to follow in the pattern to the right. So you need to look at rate of change or slope on a graph. So I can see that I'm going down 1 to the right 4, down 1 to the right 4, down 1 to the right 4. And that is going to lead me to the next point to the right, and that point right here is 2, 1. So as an ordered pair, it's going to look like that. When you're typing it in on your test, if you put your cursor in blank 1, it's going to highlight the spot over here. And so you would type in 2 here and 1 here. That's how you enter it into your test. Looking at question 2, you're finding the slope and you're entering it in as a fraction. So if I'm looking here, so what you have to look at on a line is to see where is it hitting at the nice grid marks. So I'm going to put the dot large here so that we can see that we're hitting a grid mark here and we're hitting a grid mark here, which makes it a little bit easier for counting my rise over run. And so my rise is up 2 and my run is over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and when you go to the right, it's positive. So again, this is my rise, this is my run. So my slope is going to be 2/5. And how you type that in is just 2/5. 2 over 5. Question 3 is the same type of question. You are finding the slope. This line is a negative slope. That's something I like to look at just kind of overall. You can find it directionally as we do our rise over run. Same thing here. When I'm looking at question 2, my line is increasing as I go from left to right, which means my slope should be positive, and we did find it to be positive. It's always a good double check. So again, I'm going to mark clearly where I'm hitting on grid marks on my graph. And so I can see I'm hitting here nicely and here nicely. So those look like good places to count rise over run. You can count your rise over run, and that's your slope, rise over run, from either point. If you start at the left point, I am going down 4, so that is -4, to the right 1, so that's +1, so I can think of that as -4 over 1. But if I started from the other point, I could be going, that would be going up 4, so +1, but then I'd be going left 1, which is the negative direction. So I could think of this also as 4 over -1. When you're entering this in as a fraction, typically you're going to see that negative out in front, and you can enter this as -4, or you could enter that as -4 over 1 if you're entering it in as a fraction. And the last question in the first section of the test is which of the graphs below show a slope of 0? And so a slope of 0, if I think of slope again as rise over run, in order for this to be 0, the rise has to be 0. The numerator has to be 0. So this is, I need to have something 0 over some number. You can also look in your notes at page 83. That's where we took the notes on horizontal and vertical lines. Hopefully you recall that horizontal lines are all y equals something, and they all have a slope of 0. And on this graph, there's only one horizontal line, and that is line A. So this right here is our choice for slope of 0.